we're back here in Studio 1A, K1037 Noon Hour Talk Show. And we're here with the Kahnawà Economic Summit Group. Neil McComber, the Executive Director of Tewatohnhi'saktha, Tammy Delaronde, the Business Director of Business Services, and Kimberly Cross, who's the Event Coordinator. Okay, so are we on part 3 or part 4 now? I forgot.
Well, no, actually now we're in the afternoon. So.
In the afternoon session.
The
now,
afternoon sessions, yeah.
So everyone had a great lunch. You know, you all eat at your own house and you have your own.
Well, we're hoping
chicken noodle soup and
part of the event planning. We're not serving lunch because everybody's at home, but we are going to be having a swag bag.
What's that side bag?
A swag bag.
What's a swag bag?
Come on, Davis, get with the time.
Hey, someone
Where's your swag
up here? What's the swag?
So normally if you go to any type of event or conference, you get a swag bag. And it's
like a gift bag?
Yeah, so it's full of...
gift bag.
No, it's cooler than that.
Oh, swag, okay.
So we have a couple of things that we're putting in there, and we're hoping that we can give it to the first 200 people to register. So we really are hoping to get to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like in Kahnawà, we have, I think, over 500 businesses. So the first 200 will get the swag bag. And in there, we are going to be including some snacks by local caterers. So we can't put like a whole lunch because we don't want it to go bad. So it's going to be like, food that will be able to sit in the bag for a little bit. And, we're going to have some goodies as well. So giveaway items. So you'll get a notepad. You're going to get a water bottle and as well earbuds so that you can listen in from your computer or your phone.
Okay, so how do you get the swag bag if everyone's at home?
You have to register.
After you register, what will it be delivered by helicopter?
We're gonna be doing. We may offer the delivery option. We're gonna see what the registrants say.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do a pickup day. So it'll be most likely the day before the summit, so the 4th, at Tewatohnhi'saktha, where we'll have a little tent set up and people can drive by and pick up their swag bag.
Oh, that's cool.
So you have to register, and the deadline to register is November 1st.
So if you don't want a swag bag, can you get a gift bag?
I'll make one just for you, Davis.
Okay, there's a gift bag. I'm not the swaggy type of person, so I need some gifts.
Yeah. So, and in there you'll get any other, materials that we'll have to add in, like some maybe printouts or flyers or pamphlets. So anything that you would have normally gotten at the summit in person, you'll have it at home. So it kind of makes it feel... well,
that's good too. If you get it the day before, then you actually get an idea what's happening tomorrow. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, we'll have the agenda in there.
Yeah.
And so lunch might be really yummy, depending on the snacks. So now we can get into the after lunch agenda.
Okay, here we go. 1:00. Neil.
Okay, so 1:00 we're going to be talking about the strategy for economic development, which will be unveiling in April of next year. However, we're currently in development of it, and we're just finalizing it. We have some final internal consultations to do with our staff. And in November 2nd, actually, our board of directors would be looking to make a decision whether or not they approve the plan. And then we want to unveil it on the 5th to the business community, to the community.
Okay, sorry, the 5th of what?
November.
The date, the economic summit. We want to unveil it. We want to first unveil it to the community via the summit, and then we'll unveil it to the community the following week.
Okay, got it.
So that's our strategy for economic development. It'll be an open Q&A. So we'll do like a good 20, 25-minute presentation on what our strategies are for economic development. We've had to look back at our vision, our mission, and things like that because it was developed over 20 years ago. So we wanted to make sure that is it still relevant today, etc. We have a new mandate. Revenue generation went back to the MCK, so we're no longer in charge of revenue generation. So we have a new mandate, and how are we going to help the business community and the workforce going forward under our new mandate? And that's what this unveiling of the strategic plan is all about.
Oh, cool. I think a lot of things have changed over the last 20 years. When Tewatohnhi'saktha was created, it was still an economic development unit that was really unsure what was going to happen. And so much things happened throughout the years. And eventually you have to go back and re-examine the mandate and the terms of reference and what they call the the direction.
Yeah, and it sounds, I know sometimes when you say strategic planning and the strategy for economic development, it can sound a little bit boring, but these things affect businesses. They affect our workforce. They affect anybody looking for a job. So we want to, I know it's maybe the titles, but the actual what's going to come of it is actually relevant to just about anybody.
Yeah. And 2 o'clock, what's happening?
So at 2 o'clock, this will be an MCK hour, actually. So MCK, and it's out of the 6 topics, they're taking on one. Brandon Morris and Alex Beaupre will be presenting on behalf of the MCK. They're currently in charge of revenue generation. So again, they're going to be talking about revenue generation and public-private partnerships in general. So public-private partnerships is trending in economic development in general, and just to talk about that a bit, I don't want to get into their topic too much, but public-private partnerships, as it sounds, is the cooperation between the businesses and public officials. So the MCK and the businesses, how can they collaborate? How can they partner? And they have various things they're going to discuss on those topics. I mean, they intend to talk about the land that's available, community land. They intend to discuss that topic. I know it's been a question, like many businesses have asked the question, how do you access community land and things like that? The MCK is going to be there to answer those questions that day.
That should be an interesting topic, because it's the assumption all the time is lands on the outside would be a joint venture between an outside company and someone from here. You know, very rarely do we forget that we have people from here that could use that land also. You know, the tendency was always to find a partnership with a non-Indian entity. You know, when there's perhaps Wahuma that can do that in partnership with the MCK, or can do it on their own.
Yeah, and we want to know that ourselves, because another part of our mandate is business attraction. So if we're in charge of business attraction, we need to know that feedback as well. Like, do people want other businesses here, and where are they comfortable, and to what extent? Like, that's the kind of consultation we have to undertake in the next few months.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, because years ago, you know, people used to come and they'd visit the council and they want to talk about business opportunity. There was a crazy couple of guys that came in and they wanted to build a park safari here.
You mean a floating casino?
No, a park safari. You know, the one that exists in Hamilton?
No, I'm joking.
They were here. And then, no, casinos aside. No, I don't want to talk about that. There was a guys that came here that had a crazy idea of making plastic lacrosse sticks. They had a company called Brine. They wanted to come and they wanted to do it over here. And I remember at the time that we said no, because it's going to interfere with our local craftsmen and everything, and Brian Lacrosse right now is one of the biggest suppliers. And someone else had a crazy idea coming here about bottling water, because they were telling us one day you're going to pay $5 for water in the movies. And we were going like, get out of here, you're crazy. You know, that'll never happen. But
that's funny, because my mother-in-law says her grandmother used to say that. Like, back in the day, she said, "Wait, one day you're going to pay for that water."
No, there was 3 things that I actually remember. That there was like presentations and like we threw them out. Get out of here, Christ! Come on, that'll never work. But today's a lot different, right?
Yep.
And are we at 3 o'clock? We're almost done.
We're at 3 o'clock now, and so again, that's the MCK hour, and they're gonna have a presentation. I don't know how long, at this point, but they're gonna have open Q&A as well. Mm-hmm. So just open for feedback and questions and answers about what they're presenting. So we'll leave that to them. For the last topic, it's networks and collaboration of the business community. So we want to, this is a workshop. So at the end of the day, the last thing we want to do is we want to get the businesses, we want to talk about a few things, but we want to ask the businesses, how do you want to work together? How can you work together? How can we all work together to make our economy grow? How can we to make our economy recover? In the past, we had a business coalition that was tried and started. It stalled for the last couple of years. I guess COVID. I don't know the reasons really, but that type of thing was tried, and maybe we want to ask the businesses: do you want that? Do you want like a chamber of commerce like they have on the outside? Do you want to have, and then do you want us involved? Do you want us involved? Do you want the council involved? What level do you want us involved with? Like, we don't have an opinion on it. Tell us. We want the businesses to establish this themselves, talk about it themselves, and tell us how they want to work together.
Well, that's interesting, because there's no agenda. Or the only agenda is trying to set this up.
Exactly.
And you guys set it up.
Yeah.
We're basically facilitating the workshop. Yeah. We're going to take notes, whatever's going to come out of it.
We're going to take direction from the business community on these topics, and we're going to help them with whatever they want to do. If they don't want our help, well, fine. We're going to say, okay, we're not going to touch that subject if that's what they want. If they want to develop a business coalition or whatever on their own without our assistance at all, fine. If they want our help a little bit, maybe just some administrative support, fine. They want us to help coordinate. They want us to push making sure these things happen, fine. Whatever it is, just tell us. We're good with whatever you come up with. There's more to it than that, though. When it comes to like online marketing, I think there's definitely a potential for us to work together as a community. Individuals, businesses, organizations. When a business has something they're promoting online, and the rest of us as individuals or businesses help share that promotion, we're helping one another. We're going back to community spirit and how we can help one another out. You can't look at it always as competition. It's you're helping one another, and they'll help you in the future.
I mean, the tendency in this town is someone has a good idea, then there's about 5 or 6 good ideas replicating those, and we won't get into that, but that seems to be a trend, But on that note, you mentioned like the possibility of creating an opportunity to work together. Is there any possibility that Kahnawà.ca or Kahnawà.com could be available to businesses in town? Like abcinc.kahnawà.ca? Because I don't understand how that's owed.
That could be.
I have a dollar. I have $1 in my pocket. I'm going to pass the buck and ask you to ask council that, because that's their domain.
Is it their domain?
Yeah. Kahnawà.com belongs to MCK.
So, like, is it possible, like, if everyone can use, I'll use Davis's Pies at Kahnawà.com.
Yeah, ask council.
So you mean like?
Well, it's their domain. They own that domain.
So okay, it's like
if you want to talk about collaboration and
I think so.
Let's say a business came up with this idea, and let's say a majority of businesses, we want to have a common domain, maybe whatever it is, and we all want to be able to access it. That's something Tewatohnhi'saktha can research, look into, and then say, hey, can this happen or not? And Tammy's group can do the research and find out what elements go into the feasibility of it.
If you're trying to talk about sharing information and sharing, everything's on the internet now. So something Kahnawà.com or Dewa.com could be...
maybe just to jump in, we do have our Shop Kahnawà website, so shopkahnawà.com. And almost every business, and if you're not on there, I apologize, but almost every business is featured on that website. And contact information, we try to put photos. If you have a website, a social media page. So, for example, Davis, if you wanted to put your business on there, just let us know and we can add it.
No, you can add it, but could it put like Davis's Pies?
So it would probably be shopkahnawà.com/Davis's Pies.
Okay, I mean, something where it's accessible by everybody.
Yeah.
And I think right away would be Kahnawà. We're talking about Kahnawà, and why couldn't the 500 businesses be registered under Kahnawà.com?
Yeah, and that's exactly it.
But I mean,
we have shopkahnawà.com, and we don't want to like replicate it and have them, Shop Kahnawà is already known. It's thoroughly promoted. We have our Facebook page and everything. So it's best to just utilize the Shop Kahnawà.
Just as a thought, because I might not make the whole 6-session event.
I'm not going to give you the gift bag.
I'll be there. No. No, I'm more swaggy. No, I'm all into that. But anyhow, you guys, an hour goes fast. I want to thank you all very much for coming in. Neil McComber, the Executive Director of Tewatohnhi'saktha, Tammy Delaronde, Director of Business Services, and Kimberly Cross, who's carrying a number of hats, the event coordinator for the Economic Summit, and also in charge of our tourism development. I want to thank you guys again for coming in very much. This is Davis Rice and Tewatohnhi'saktha, K103.7.